Welcome to the Rockabye Revenue Podcast with me, Abby Watson. I'm a mum of 4 and a business strategist, and I train people to become hypnobirthing teachers. In the last decade, I've built a thriving baby business that grew beyond my wildest dreams. This podcast is for you if you run a business or dream of running a business in the birth and baby industry. You want to change lives whilst making more money. I'm talking about creating sustainable income whilst being present for the people that matter most. I believe for our baby businesses to have the impact we desire, we must be rewarded. On this podcast, expect me to share actionable strategies without the jargon. I've been where you are. I've built a business while raising 4 little ones, and now I'm here to help you turn your passion into profit while creating the life you've always dreamed of. So let's get started. Now, when you're starting a new business in anything, unless you've come from a business background, running a business in some other capacity, the marketing side, the getting your stuff out there, getting your stuff seen and known about can be really, really overwhelming. I know it was for me. Like when I started my hypnobirthing business, and this was a decade ago, well over a decade ago, it was the business side of things that I was most afraid of. I had all the passion to be teaching hypnobirthing. I mean, quite frankly, I'd have paid clients to teach them. I was that excited about doing that side of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, of course, my first clients came with a lot of nerves, but ultimately, the thing that scared me the most was how I was going to get myself out there, how I was going to get the pregnant women in my community to know about hypnobirthing firstly and know that what I offered was blooming great. And yeah, I had no clue how to do that. I had a few ideas. I'd seen what other people were doing on social media. I'd seen other people have websites. But it felt almost like a completely new language to me, and even the tech side of things massively scared me. Now, these days, I have the privilege of guiding others when they're creating their baby business. So, as you know, I train hypnobirthing teachers, and when I do train hypnobirthing teachers, of course, I want them to be blooming great at teaching hypnobirthing. But I also want to really help them with the business side of things because I've been there and I've done it, and I know that so many passionate people that come and do this type of work, it is the business side of stuff that's holding them back. It is that side of things that keep them up at night. It's not necessarily how am I going to relax my client, And when I have the privilege of training people and supporting them to become amazing hypnobirthing teachers, I understand that the business side of things is very likely to be the most scary thing. And it doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't. Like if we think about what we're ultimately doing when we are promoting our services, whatever we did, whether we taught hypnobirthing, whether we, are a baby massage teacher, whether we're a blooming dog walker, whatever we do in our business, ultimately marketing it is the simple act of getting in front of people and building that trust. And if I was going back 10 years, the thing that I would push myself to do sooner, and it would be the scary thing, it really would, it would be getting on camera and talking. If I could have done that sooner, I know it would have had such a powerful impact on my business. Now, fast forward 10 years and the time that we are in right now, getting on camera is even more powerful and more important. On some of the podcasts that I listen to, I keep hearing people say, we're in a trust recession. And what they mean by that is, right now, more than ever, people are less trusting of services, of businesses, of people that they stumble across on the internet. And I get it, with AI, with our previous experiences online, we can be so much more suspicious of the things that we find. And because of that trust recession that we may be in, getting in front of people on camera as a human, talking to them, is so powerful, because there is nothing like hearing someone speak, seeing who they are, unscripted, just them chatting to you to help build that trust. And I had my own experience of this recently. Tomorrow, I am going to the dentist, and I'm a little bit ashamed to say that I have not been for the last few years. And the longer that I have not been, the more my fear about going has increased. I'm almost afraid of what they're going to find. I mean, I've never been a massive fan of the dentist, but because I've not been for so long, I'm scared of what they're going to find. And this fear has prevented me from taking the plunge and booking appointments recently. Now, I used to have an amazing dentist, and sadly he retired. So I have been on the lookout for a dentist, and I'm quite particular. As someone who's nervous of going to the dentist, I need someone kind, I need someone very human, and I need someone that's going to make me feel at ease. Now, I noticed that in my local area, they have set up a new dentist, and the premises looks beautiful. And I'd hovered over the booking button for quite some time, but I never took the plunge until really recently. And I tell you what it was that made me take the plunge. It was a simple talking video of one of the dentists. And it wasn't that dentist seemed like very experienced or very knowledgeable. He didn't impress me with his knowledge. I mean, don't get me wrong, his knowledge wasn't bad, but that wasn't what I was looking for. I was literally looking for whether I would feel comfortable with that person with my mouth open. As simple as that. And as I watched this video of this quite young guy that was just down to earth, kind, and relatable, it was that made me press the book button. And it really reminded me of how blooming important it can be to get comfortable with talking on camera as a business owner. And if this isn't something that you currently do, or you do a bit and you could do more of, this is my little nudge to you to push yourself out of your comfort zones a little, just a little bit, and do a bit more of it. Or if you've never done it before, do your first one. Because someone browsing your services that can watch even a 20-second video of you just talking to them, that might make the difference between them booking and not booking. You know? That simple, you speaking to them like you are in a room with them, could be the thing that makes them feel at ease enough to do the thing that they've been wanting to do. And I'm talking to you if you're an aspiring hypnobirthing teacher as well. You know, if you're that person that I talked about earlier that, you know, has got all the passion to come and be a hypnobirthing teacher, but you're like, oh my gosh, the business side is scary. I get it. But what if actually it could be as simple as you talking on camera and getting more comfortable doing that, you know? And I understand that when you hear me say talking on camera and simple in the same sentence, you might be like, Abby, that is the most terrifying thing that I can ever think about doing. Of course it's terrifying, you know? It feels vulnerable. It feels, even though it's just a little video going online, it feels almost like you're standing on a stage. But remember, you are talking to that one person that needs you. That one person that has been thinking about, you know, booking a hypnobirthing course. Like I'd been thinking about booking a dentist appointment, but has been putting it off and never doing it. And they just needed that little bit of connection and that little bit of meeting the human behind the service to do it. And it doesn't have to be complicated, you know? I do think when I first started out doing video, and this was a good few years ago, I overcomplicated it at first. The first ever video I did was a 20-minute video about why birth documentaries like One Born Every Minute are not good for your birth. Like, why did I start with something so like complex and, you know, long to chat about? Why didn't I just get on camera and say, hypnobirthing is, or I love hypnobirthing because, or this is why I'm a hypnobirthing teacher, you know? Why didn't I start with something so simple? And if you are new to this, start simple. You know, make your first ever video, you literally telling the person listening your name, what you do, and why you do it. And I know you could think of 18 reasons why you do it, but maybe just stick with one, you know? So if I was doing this, you know, if I was thinking about, you know, who am I, what do I do, and why I do it? Well, I'm Abby. I train hypnobirthing teachers. Why do I do what I do? Well, I do it because I know that there is nothing out there as transformational as hypnobirthing for pregnant women. Taking them from feeling terrified to feeling confident is almost like magic when it's blooming not. And I want more people teaching hypnobirthing so that more people experience it, because it literally can change people's lives. Now, I haven't scripted that. I didn't even think that I was going to be doing that intro on this podcast today. All I've done is spoke from the heart. All I've done is thought, well, what would I say if someone asked me that at a bus stop? You know? Let's not make things more complicated than they ever have to be. And you know, if you do a video and it feels super cringy, don't watch it back. Why put yourself through that? Don't watch it back. Click post. It's not for your watching. It's for everybody else's. It's for that person who needs your thing, you know? Because honestly, talking on camera, showing you on camera is the quickest way to build that know, like and trust factor that is so important, especially with the types of services that we offer. So that was a little quickie episode from me today, because it's something that I've been really thinking about lately, how we can blooming overcomplicate this whole marketing malarkey. And actually, it's as simple as allowing people to hear what you offer and build trust. Simple. And my advice to you is that if you're not currently doing talking videos, or you're rarely doing them, make that the one thing that you're going to focus on expanding your comfort zones to, and watch the impact of that. And believe me, lovely one, it won't always feel scary. It won't. Your comfort zones will expand and it will feel so much easier. But that takes time and it takes action, taking that action. Now, if you are listening to this and you are that person thinking, oh, could I become a hypnobirthing teacher? Every single month at Love Your Birth, I offer a free 1-hour session where you get to meet me, get to hear about what teaching hypnobirthing is like. I talk about my training on there. And yeah, we get to answer questions and it's just generally really lovely. And if you fancy coming along to one of those, see the link in the show notes or come over to my Instagram and DM me the word taster and I'll send you the details of the next one. Have a lovely day and get yourself on camera. Speak to you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to Rockabye Revenue. I hope this episode has left you with some fresh ideas and bundles of motivation. If you enjoyed this episode, do make sure you click subscribe so you never miss an installment. And if you found this episode useful, I'd love you forever if you leave a 5-star review, helping this podcast reach the ears of more of the helpers in this world. And remember, keep changing lives. See you next time.